One last dance with the Voyagers to wrap up the season series between Suffolk and Edenton. The Steamers are looking to complete a sweep of Suffolk on the summer after winning the first 4 matchups between the teams. The Voyagers are looking to leap into 5th place in the 6-team PCL with a win tonight, while the Steamers are trying to play spoiler, already locked into the number 2 seed. Hello and welcome everyone into this broadcast of Steamers Baseball. I'm Luke Mealy, and tonight the Edenton Steamers will take on the Suffolk Voyagers in one of the last couple home games of the season for the Clams. The Steamers have been dominant here at historic Hicks Field, 18-5 overall. They won back-to-back games the last 2 nights against the Norfolk Redbirds. This is the 4th game of a 5-game homestand. The Voyagers come into tonight 5-10 overall, 3-10 in Premier Collegiate League play, and once again, if they pull off the win tonight in Edenton, they would hop the Norfolk Redbirds into that 5th seed in the Premier Collegiate League. Meanwhile, the Steamers are at 20-10 overall in the PCL, and a win tonight or a loss would not move them out of that 2nd seed. Tarboro currently holds that top spot in the league. We are ready to go here in Edenton. Tanner Thatch is on the mound for the Steamers, making his 3rd start of the season. And Brian Wilson up to the plate to lead things off for the Voyagers. Thatch's first pitch of the night misses a bit low for a ball, 1-0. For Thatch, he's thrown 14 innings this season, a 2.57 ERA. The definition of a two-way player as Wilson grounds that one the other way to Bruno at short. He'll throw to first in time for out number 1. It's fitting with the team awards being announced tonight at the ballpark. The Goodman Glove Award given to the best defensive player on the Steamers each season went to Chase Bruno tonight for his work at shortstop, and it's very fitting that he has the first defensive play, and he makes it just as he's made all the others this season. Trevor Mason up to the plate now for the Voyagers. And he'll leave the first pitch in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Mason getting the start over at shortstop tonight for the Voyagers. And he'll let that one come across for a called strike, 1-1 the count. For Mason, this is his 12th game of the season. He's hitting .346 with a .469 on-base percentage. And he'll lay off a pitch a bit low, 2-1 the count. Now for Tanner Thatch on the mound, he has really dominated the Suffolk Voyagers with his bat. He's knocked in 13 runs against the Voyagers in the 4 games they've played offensively. But it's the first time he's pitched against the Voyagers this season. So that one's up high, and 3-1 the count. That one's across for a called strike in the outside corner, 3-2. With the Norfolk Redbirds game getting canceled today at Lakewood Park due to unplayable field conditions, the Voyagers control their own destiny with a win tonight. They can move up into that 5th seed as Mason swings and misses for strike 3. Out number 2 here in the first. With the first round of the postseason taking place at Lakewood Park on Tuesday, the Steamers and the River Bandits have already guaranteed themselves a first-round bye. They'll both host postseason games on Thursday. So now it's all about figuring out those first-round matchups as Phil Forbes comes to the plate for the first time tonight. He'll take that one down low, 1-0 the count. Phil Forbes, or P5, stands for Phil the Fifth. His grandfather, Phil the Third, the head coach of the Voyagers this season, as Thatch misses low again, 2-0 the count. Tanner working all around this zone. Can't quite find it against Forbes. 3-0 the count. So at the plate, it's P5. The head coach is P3, and there's actually P4 as an assistant coach. So the father of the man at the plate, Phil Forbes, as that one misses ball 4. Forbes works a 4-pitch walk as Thatch was working right around that zone, couldn't quite find it. And that'll bring Rylan Brown to the plate. The Voyagers don't score a ton of runs. They haven't beaten the Steamers this season, but if there's any threat on this team, it's Rylan Brown. Brown, the runner-up in the home run derby here a week ago at historic Hicks Field. He'll swing and miss at that one, 0-1 the count. And that's not just a home run derby swing either. Rylan hit a home run the last time the Voyagers were here in Edenton. That was back on July 1st. So that one misses outside, 1-1 to Brown. For Thatch, both of his starts this season have gone just 3 innings. One of them was a game that was actually called after the 6th at Lakewood Park, so he got the win that night. As Brown swings and misses at the off-speed, 1-2. Thatch's longest appearance of the season was back in his first appearance. That was out of the bullpen. He went 4 innings of relief, allowed just 1 base runner, and struck out 7. He's been dominant in his limited time on the mound. As he leaves that one a bit off the plate. 2-2 the count now to Brown. Rylan Brown in the DH spot tonight for the Voyagers. Thatch is 2-2. Down low, a good at bat here for Brown as the count moves to 3-2. For Rylan Brown, hitting .316 this season, a couple of home runs and 10 RBIs. Forbes will be off from first on the pitch. It's hit high onto the ground by Brown, and it's bobbled by the Alden Cottle bare hand, and he's aboard. It's an infield hit for Rylan Brown, and the Voyagers put 2 on with 2 outs here in the first. He didn't get a whole lot of it, but he chopped it right over the head of Tanner Thatch, and the only man that had a shot at it was Alden Cottle with the bare hand. Couldn't quite get it cleanly, but I'm not sure if he would have had a play regardless. So that'll bring Aiden Oates up to the plate now for the Voyagers, who are trying to start a rally here in the first inning. Both runners reached with 2 outs. So that one's down low, 1-0. Aiden Oates catching tonight for the Voyagers. The 1-0, Oates will watch that one come across for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Oates looking to get back in the hit column against the Steamers. Went 0 for 4 in the Voyagers' last trip to historic Hicks Field. That was back on July 1st. It's been nearly a month since these teams have matched up. The 1-1. Swing and a miss on the off speed. 1-2. Oates hitting .314 this season through 12 games. The 1-2 leaves it down in the dirt, and taking off for third is Forbes. He's in there standing up. And the Voyagers now have runners at the corners with 2 outs. The count 2-2 now to Oates. Thatch standing in from the stretch with Phil Forbes at third. He reached on a walk, and Rylan Brown at first. He had an infield hit. 2-2 the count to Aiden Oates at the plate. Outside, count will fill up 3-2. The Voyagers making Thatch throw a lot of pitches here in his first inning of work. Brown will be off and running from first on the pitch. The count 3-2 to Aiden Oates. And Brown takes off a little early as that one's up high. Ball 4. And the Voyagers have loaded the bases. That's the second walk of the inning issued by Thatch. And that'll bring Benny Spady up to the plate. Benny Spady hitting .250 this season. Trying to put the Voyagers ahead here in the first inning against Tanner Thatch. He gave up his first run of the season a couple of weeks ago in his last start. That was against the Tarboro River Bandits. Thatch is back into the windup. His first pitch to Spady is swung on and missed. 0-1. Thatch has gotten ahead of the last couple of hitters, but they've worked into the counts, and Brown got just enough of the ball to get an infield hit, and Aiden Oates worked a walk. 0-1 is swung on and missed. 0-2. Tanner Thatch one strike away from working out of a first inning jam. Voyagers with 2 walks and 1 hit in the inning. The 0-2. Off speed, called strike 3. Tanner Thatch strikes out Benny Spady to strand the bases loaded in the first. We'll head to the home half of inning number 1 here at Historic Hicks Field with the Steamers coming to the plate. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field as we're set to begin the bottom half of the first inning. The game still scoreless after the Suffolk Voyagers left the bases loaded in the top half of the first. It'll be Caleb Belisle on the mound for the Voyagers, and he'll be going against the newly minted Gieske Gold Award winner given to the Steamers MVP, Nate Paulson, up to the plate to lead things off. It's a called strike to begin the at-bat with Nate, who once again before the game was named MVP. He's got 35 hits this season, a .340 batting average, .457 on-base percentage. He's knocked in 15 runs, a team-high 11 doubles, and 3 home runs. So Nate certainly deserving of the award. And back in the leadoff spot after getting the night off last night. Once again, it's Caleb Belisle on the mound for the Voyagers. And the Voyagers have been struck with some unfortunate timing with a lot of the rain making their schedule look like a football schedule. They've played about once a week in July, and he's started every game for the Voyagers in July. And Paulson swings at the 0-2, sends it high out to center field, and it'll be caught out there by the center fielder Wilson. And that's the first out here in the first inning. That'll bring Chase Bruno up to the plate now for the Steamers. Bruno will take that one for a called strike, 0-1. Chase, as I mentioned in the top half of the first inning, won the Goodman Glove Award, given to the Steamers' best defensive player this season. I don't think that's any surprise for how Chase has played at shortstop this season, as he'll watch that one outside, 1-1. But with all the damage he can do defensively, he does just as much offensively. Last night, Chase went 2 for 5 with a home run. He'll ground that one over to third. It's handled by Gilisano. His throw to first is in time for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down for the Steamers offense against Caleb Belisle. And that'll bring Tanner Thatch up to the plate. Always good when you can try and give yourself a little run support, and that's what Tanner Thatch will try and do here. Boy, has Tanner Thatch hit it well against these Voyagers this season. He'll swing at the first pitch. He sees and line it into left center field for a hit. It'll be picked up by Goldson. He'll get it in, and Tanner Thatch with a 2-out single here in the first. Tanner Thatch, before that at bat, was hitting .500 against the Voyagers with 13 RBIs. That's in just 4 games. So just like the Voyagers, the Steamers put a man on with 2 outs. And they'll extend the inning for Jeremiah Boyd, who's up to the plate now for the Steamers. Jeremiah catching tonight after working as the DH last night here in Edenton. And he'll watch the first pitch down low for a ball, 1-0. Not many people hitting better than Jeremiah Boyd as of late. Had 2 home runs on Monday, had 2 home runs on Thursday, had a couple of hits last night. One was a double and another RBI for Jeremiah. He now trails just Tanner Thatch and Chase Bruno for the team lead in RBIs. Boyd with 21. As that one's down low, stopped by Oates. 2-0 the count. For the Steamers, it goes Thatch with the most RBIs with 24. Chase Bruno in second with 22. And Jeremiah Boyd again in third with 21 RBIs. But with his recent hot stretch of hitting the ball over the fence, Jeremiah has taken the team lead in home runs with 8. The 2-0. He'll watch that one come across for a called strike, 2-1. For Jeremiah this season, hitting .297, a .385 on-base percentage, .615 slugging. That's second on the team, just behind Tanner Thatch at .684. And Boyd will watch that one come across for a called strike, and now the count evens up 2-2. Caleb Belisle trying to keep this game tied, and a big game for the Voyagers. The ability to hop into the 5th spot in the PCL with a win tonight, and the last game of the regular season. 2-2. Boyd sends that one high in the air, deep to left field. Goldson's not going to move in left, and that ball is gone! Jeremiah Boyd, what a week! His 5th home run in the last 5 days. And he puts the Steamers ahead 2-0 in the first. Jeremiah Boyd is on fire right now for the Steamers. That's a team-high 9th home run. And it's now 23 RBIs on the season for Boyd. He's 2nd on the team. Alden Cottle at the plate for the Steamers. He'll take up high for a ball. The Steamers have been relying on the long ball a lot recently. Had 9 home runs in our last 2 games against the Norfolk Redbirds, and they've got one tonight against the Voyagers. So that one's a called strike on Alden Cottle. 1-1 the count. Alden Cottle started to hit the ball out of the yard a bit as of late. A couple of home runs this week as he pops that one up down the right field line. Moving in from right and making a slide and catches Phil Forbes for the final out of the inning to wrap up Alden Cottle's AB. So that'll take us to the 2nd inning where the Steamers are out ahead by 2 thanks to a 2-run blast from Jeremiah Boyd. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field, where the Steamers are out to a 2-0 lead over the Suffolk Voyagers thanks to a 2-run home run from Jeremiah Boyd. We're set to begin inning number 2 here at historic Hicks Field. It's Tanner Thatch back on the mound for the Steamers. He'll go against the 7, 8, 9 spots in the Voyagers order. It'll be Ahmad Goldson leading things off for Suffolk. And Goldson will watch that one come across a bit off the plate. 1-0 the count. Goldson getting the start out in left field tonight for the Voyagers. As Thatch's off speed comes across for a called strike. It looked like Goldson thought it was going to get it on him, and it curved back over the plate. Thatch goes back to the fastball. That one just misses outside. 2-1. Thatch was able to work out of a bases-loaded jam back in the first. The Voyagers put all 3 runners on with 2 outs. 2-1. That one floats across for a called strike. 2-2. Ahmad Goldson just 2 for 14 against the Steamers this season. Looking to add on to that here. Again, he has to turn away, but it didn't come quite back over the plate. It's inside for a ball. Count will fill up 3-2. As the pitch count continues to climb for Thatch, he threw 31 pitches in that first inning, up to 37 now, but there's a swing and a miss. Strike three. Thatch wins the battle with Golton. It's his third strikeout of the game, and out number one here in the second. Alex Kowalski now to the plate for the Voyagers to face Thatch, the eighth man in this Suffolk lineup. He'll take that one for a called strike, 0-1. Kowalski playing over at second base for the Voyagers tonight. He'll swing through that one, 0-2. Kowalski hitless against the Steamers this season, only 4 at-bats. He's 0 for 4. As that off speed comes a bit off the plate, 1-2 the count. Overall, through 8 games, Kowalski is hitting .190 with a .261 on-base percentage. The 1-2. Swung on, hit high out towards left center field. Moving back is Paulson towards the wall, and it's going to one-hop and get up against the wall. Paulson bobbles for a moment. He'll get it in. Kowalski's into second standing up. He got a whole lot of that baseball. It's the second hit of the night for the Voyagers, and they have a man in scoring position with just 1 out. That's the first hit of the season for Kowalski against Edenton. And another man coming into his first at-bat hitless against Edenton, Alex Gilisano, is 0 for 8 this season against the Clams. Hitting ninth, playing over at third for the Voyagers tonight. First pitch to him is a bit up. 1-0 the count. For Gilisano, he's hitting .200 this season with a .286 on-base percentage. That's through 11 games for the Voyagers. The 1-0's down in the dirt. Jeremiah Boyd quick to corral it. 2-0 the count as Kowalski holds down at second. Tanner Thatch on the mound for his second inning tonight, his third start of the season. Steamers 1-1 in those 2 games that he started. As that one's fought off the other way down the first base line, just a bit foul. That'll be the first strike of the at-bat, 2-1. Two hits apiece for both sides so far tonight. The Steamers have paid off their base runner, a 2-run home run from Jeremiah Boyd. Meanwhile, the Voyagers stranded 3 in the first inning, trying to avoid stranding another here in the second. They're running up the pitch count of Tanner Thatch early. The 2-1. Up high, 3-1. Remember, Thatch has only given up runs in 1 of his 8 appearances this season. So that one's across for a called strike, 3-2. That came in his last game that he pitched. That was against the Tarboro River Bandits. Otherwise, Thatch had started with the first 6 appearances as scoreless appearances. 3-2 pitch, just off the plate. Tanner Thatch working a tight zone right now as it's his third walk of the night. And the Voyagers have runners at first and second with 1 out. Brian Wilson up to the plate now for the Voyagers. With runners at first and second, it's the second time through the Voyagers lineup. Wilson led things off for Suffolk. He'll take that one for a called strike, 0-1. Wilson grounded out his first time up against Thatch to lead off this game. It's a grounder the other way over to shortstop. So that one's on the inside corner, and he unhappy with that call. The zone now growing on that side, 0-2 the count. It's Alex Kowalski down at second. He doubled. Alex Gilisano at first. He walked. He puts enough of the bat on it, chopping it over to the right side. Abbott makes a nice play on it, and Wilson beat it out. Abbott went all the way over to second to backhand that ball and fire it to Tanner Thatch covering, but Wilson beat Thatch to the bag. It's another infield hit for the Voyagers, and they've loaded the bases for the second consecutive inning. Three total hits for Suffolk. Two of them have been in the infield. That'll bring Trevor Mason up to the plate. One out here in the second. And Mason will take for a called strike, 0-1. Mason struck out his only time up tonight. As that one swung on and missed, Boyd throws back to third, and they got Kowalski napping. It's out number 2. A great play from Jeremiah Boyd. It takes away the lead runner, and it gets out number 2. What a play by Jeremiah Boyd, and the count's now 0-2 to Trevor Mason. Steamers trying to strand more Voyagers on the bases. The 0-2 outside, and Boyd nearly thought about letting one rip to another base. That's an impressive play by Jeremiah Boyd behind the plate. We know he's been good at catching runners stealing. He's caught 6 of 23 guys that have tried to steal against him this year. As Mason barely gets enough of that one to push it the right side and foul. Count will remain 1-2. Mason, the 5th batter that Thatch has faced in the inning. 1-2 the count with 2 men on the pitch. Called strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for Tanner Thatch. And it wraps up the second inning. The Voyagers strand a couple out on the bases, and they trail the Steamers 2-0 as we go to the home half of the second. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field, where the Steamers are out ahead of the Suffolk Voyagers 2-0. And they're trying to add on here in inning number 2. Tate Abbott up to the plate to lead things off against Caleb Belisle on the mound for the Voyagers. It'll be 6, 7, 8 due up in the Steamers order, with Abbott leading things off. And he'll line the first pitch he sees back into center field for a base hit. It's the third hit of the night for the Steamers, and they've got the leadoff man on for the first time tonight. That'll bring Jackson Hipp up to the plate with nobody out, and Abbott over at first. As Belisle moves to the stretch, the right-hander's first pitch is swung on and missed by Hipp, 0-1. Hipp got the night off last night. His last game that he played was on Thursday against the Norfolk Redbirds. Had a 2-run blast that night. One of 6 home runs the Steamers had in that game. And Belisle will throw back on Abbott. He dives in safely. Steamers were able to catch a base runner napping in the second. It was Alex Kowalski who came too far off third. Jeremiah Boyd, Steamers catcher, threw behind him and picked him off. Boyd just trying to have similar success here. Abbott will send that one high out to center field. Wilson will take a couple steps back. He's under it to make the catch for out number 1. That'll bring Hunter Cole up to the plate now for the Steamers. Hunter hitting 8th tonight and starting out in left field for Edenton. They throw back on Abbott again. That one was a lot closer, but he's in safely. Hunter Cole hitting .212 this season for the Steamers, .284 on base percentage, 13 RBIs through 27 games played, and he'll send that one high the other way, foul on the left field side. It'll drift out of play and foul. 0-1 the count now to Cole. Last night, Hunter went 1 for 4. Looking to keep the hitting going here tonight against the Voyagers. It's been a good couple of games for Hunter after the home run a couple of nights ago to go with his single last night. Cole, one of 15 All-Stars for the Steamers, one of 3 All-Star outfielders that the Steamers sent to the game. Nate Paulson and Jackson Hipp, the other 2 outfield All-Stars for the Clams. As Cole will send that one on the other way, could be 2. It's fielded by Mason. It's short and it's flipped to second, went over the head of Kowalski, and everybody's safe. Mason took his time getting to his feet after fielding the grounder, but his flip to Kowalski was either a bit too high or a bit too fast. Either way, it got past him. Everybody's safe. Now it's the Steamers with 2 on and 1 out. Trying to do what the Voyagers have struggled to do tonight and get these guys home when they get on the bases. Bryce Stevens up to the plate for Edenton. Bryce Stevens hasn't been in the lineup the last couple of nights. He was sick 2 nights ago, and then last night he came in and pitched for Edenton. Usually when guys that are two-ways like Bryce Stevens or Jared Beebe, Coach Hill won't have them in the lineup if he knows they're going to throw. And that's what happened for both of them last night. The 1-0 to Bryce, and he'll watch that one come across low. 2-0 the count. For Stevens, he's hitting .215 this season, .392 on base percentage. He's been moved around a bit in the lineup by Coach Hill. He had been at the bottom of the order for a bit, then he moved up and led off for about 6 games because of his high on base percentage. Now he's back at the back of the order. As he'll hit that one hard over to second, could be two. Kowalski flips to second for one. Mason's turn to first is in time for a double play. Caleb Belisle gets a tailor-made double play ball to get him out of the second inning. We'll head to the third here at Historic Hicks Field with the Steamers ahead 2-0. The 2022 Edenton Steamers merchandise is here. There are plenty of ways for you to pick up your Steamers gear. You can visit EdentonSteamers.com and place an order, stop by Sound Feet Shoes of Edenton, or head to the merchandise trailer located behind the first base dugout at Historic Hicks Field. You can also pick up some of the brand new Chowan County Cantaloupes gear, but only at Historic Hicks Field. Thank you for your support and repping your Steamers gear. Hello and welcome back to this broadcast of Steamers Baseball on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. I'm Luke Milai. Where tonight the Steamers are out ahead 2-0 over the Suffolk Voyagers, a game that, at least in the standings, doesn't mean too much to the Steamers. They're locked in the second seed in the 6-team Premier Collegiate League. The Voyagers sitting in 6th, trying to leap into the 5th spot and change up their playoff matchup going into Tuesday's round 1. But remember, all 6 teams in the PCL do make the playoffs. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 in the Voyagers' order, due up against Tanner Thatch on the mound. Phil Forbes leading things off, and he'll take a called strike, 0-1 the count. Thatch out there for his 3rd inning of work for the Steamers. He's thrown 51 pitches through his first 2 innings, both scoreless. Forbes gets under that one, lifts it high out to center field. Moving back is Thatch, or pardon me, Paulson. He's under it to make the catch for out number 1. That'll bring Rylan Brown up to the plate now for the Voyagers, the designated hitter and cleanup man tonight for Suffolk. He'll swing at the first pitch and foul it straight back. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 to Brown way outside. 1-1 the count. Rylan reached on an infield hit his last time up back in the first inning. It's one of 2 infield hits the Voyagers have tonight out of their 3 total hits. The 1-1. That one's down. It gets the foot of either Jeremiah Boyd, the catcher, or the umpire. Nonetheless, it's a ball, and it's 2-1 the count. Now to Brown. Brown with 10 RBIs this season, hitting .316 for the Voyagers. He'll take that one for a called strike at the knees, 2-2. Had a lot of success the last time he was in this ballpark. That was for the Home Run Derby a week ago today on July 23rd. Was second place in that derby. Lost to the man behind the plate for Edenton, Jeremiah Boyd. As he'll swing and miss at a ball, or got a piece of it to keep the at-bat going. 2-2 the count. Boy, what Tanner Thatch would do on the mound for a quick inning. He's been slugging along through this one. Has been able to strand a ton of Voyagers runners to keep his team ahead. He's walked 3 and allowed 3 hits. The 2-2, that one swung on and missed, strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Tanner Thatch. And there's 2 outs here in the third. Edenton's up to the plate now for the Voyagers. He's hitting 5th and catching for Suffolk tonight. That one swung on and missed, 0-1. It's good to see Tanner on the mound for the Steamers. Don't know how many more times he'll get to pitch in front of the home crowd. Is attending UNC Wilmington on the weekdays through the second half of this season, so we've really only seen him on the weekends in July. This is his 5th game of July. So it's always good to have Tanner Thatch here. I mean, every single guy is so excited when he walks back in the door. And Thatch, again, one of the most humble guys you'll meet, one of the nicest guys that you'll meet on this team, a guy that's so good you might understand if he's not the best person, but he is really one of the best guys on this team. He's got a 3-1 count now with Edenton, who walked his only time up against Thatch tonight. Here comes the 3-1. Swung on, fouled back. 3-2 the count. Thatch looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the night. Faced 6 batters in the first inning and 5 in the second. Up over 63 pitches. Here's his 3-2. Called strike 3. The 6th strikeout of the game for Tanner Thatch. He's got a 1-2-3 third inning here for the Steamers. We'll head to the bottom half of inning number 3 with the Clams ahead by 2. The Steamers are proud to announce that Venture Tours is the official travel partner of the team for the 2022 season. Venture Tours is a family-owned business specializing in motor coach transportation. The owners have been in the motor coach industry for more than 40 years. A mixture of hard work and family legacy helped to create Venture Tours, one of the most successful motor coach companies in Hampton Roads, coastal Virginia. If you're interested in traveling with Venture Tours, give them a call at 757-494-1480 or visit venturebustours.com. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field, where the Steamers are out ahead of the Suffolk Voyagers 2-0. And the Clams are back to the top of the order. It'll be 1-2-3 in the lineup, due up here against Caleb Belisle on the mound for Suffolk. Nate Paulson leading things off for Edenton. He'll swing and foul that one back, 0-1 the count. Once again, Paulson, right before the game, was named the Gieske Gold Award winner, given to the Steamers team MVP of every season. So he wins the award for the 2022 season. He'll swing and ground that one foul towards the Steamers' dugout. 0-2 the count, now to Nate. Paulson flew out his only time up tonight against Caleb Belisle. Belisle, a long stare in. He's ready to go. The 0-2 pitch is chopped high over to the left side. It's handled it short by Mason. His throw to first is in time to get Paulson dug out at first by Spady. And there's one out in the inning. One down here in the third, and that'll bring Chase Bruno up to the plate. Chase second in the lineup tonight after leading things off last night, and he'll send that one the other way into right field for a base hit. A one-out single for Chase Bruno, his first hit of the night, and the Steamers have a man aboard with one out. That'll bring Tanner Thatch up to the plate. Singled his first time up, eventually came around to score on the two-run home run from Jeremiah Boyd. Thatch has pitched 3 scoreless innings on the mound for Edenton, trying to help himself out with some run support here in the third. So that one's down low. Oates kept it in front of him. And the count is 1-0. Chase Bruno held over at first. For Thatch, as good as he's been as a pitcher, he's been even better offensively in 20 games with the Steamers, hitting .382. .442 on base percentage, .684 slugging. Leads the team with 24 RBIs, second on the team with 6 home runs. He'll swing and foul that one back. 1-1 the count. Thatch has had quite a bit of success against the Voyagers, especially in their last matchup. He had 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, including the only grand slam of the season for the Steamers. That was all back on July 1st, nearly 30 days since these teams have matched up. The 1-1. Thatch watches that one come up high. 2-1 the count. Thatch will most likely stay in this ball game as a hitter in this spot when he comes out as a pitcher. Not sure how long he'll get tonight. Again, both of his previous starts on the mound, he's gone 3 innings. 2-1 pitch. He'll send that one high the other way and fouled on the third base side and out of play. 2-2 the count to Tanner. Thatch, once again, only his 5th game for the Steamers in the month of July. Unable to play weekdays now. He's out at UNC Wilmington, where he's set to attend his freshman year this upcoming year. As they'll throw over on Bruno, he's back in. Two and two the count with Tanner Thatch. Belisle working from the stretch. The pitch, Bruno takes off. Thatch lifts that one high out to center field. Bruno will have to retreat. Wilson's under it. He'll make the catch for out number 2. That'll bring Jeremiah Boyd up to the plate, the man that just keeps hitting home runs. 5 home runs this week for Jeremiah Boyd. He had 2 on Monday, 2 on Thursday. He's got another tonight. Looking to make it maybe his 3rd multi-home run game of the week. He's got Chase Bruno over at first with 2 outs here in the 3rd. Jeremiah slowly grounds it over to short. Mason's got it, his scoop to second in time to retire the side. The Steamers strand a runner over at first to end the third. We'll head to inning number 4 at historic Hicks Field with the Clams ahead 2-0. Is your kid a fan of the Clam? Why not sign him up for the Steamers Kids Club, presented by Weatherly Insurance. Membership is free for all kids ages 12 and under. They receive 4 free tickets, a club t-shirt, a discount to baseball camp, and an invitation to an exclusive meet and greet event with the players. You can visit EdentonSteamers.com and download a registration form today. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field, where we've got our first pitching change of the night. Jacob Lawler coming in for Tanner Thatch on the mound. Thatch went the first 3 innings tonight, allowed 3 hits, 3 walks, but he struck out 6 and allowed no runs. So the Steamers out ahead as Thatch leaves the game, and Jacob Lawler, not a bad guy to have follow him. Lawler hasn't pitched in relief since June 7th. He's been a phenomenal starter for the Steamers. They've won all 5 of his starts this season. Overall, Lawler with a 2.57 ERA, 28 innings pitched, a 2-1 record, and 11.57 K per 9 innings. So Jacob Lawler will be more than reliable to take over for Tanner Thatch. And back in that first start on June 9th, he started against these Voyagers, went 4 2/3, allowed just 1 run that night. It'll be 6-7-8-2 up in the Voyagers order. Benny Spady leading things off. He'll ground one over to second. Bryce Stevens has it. His throw to first is in time for out number 1. That'll bring Ahmad Goldson up to the plate now for the Voyagers. Goldson getting the start out in left field tonight for Suffolk. He struck out his only time up tonight. That was against Tanner Thatch. And he'll get under that one, lifted the other way and fouled on the third base side. 0-1 the count. Now to Goldson. Goldson comes into tonight hitting 213 games with the Voyagers. So that one's across for a called strike. 0-2. Remember, that's 13 out of 15 games for Suffolk. That's all they've played this season. The Steamers have played 34. We know Lakewood Park over in Norfolk, Virginia, where all these Virginia teams play. They've had some trouble with the rain this season, as have the Steamers at historic Hicks Field, but it's created a bit of a disparity in games played for either side, so we're going by win percentage in the standings this season in the Premier Collegiate League. And once again, the Voyagers, something to play for tonight. A win would put them in the 5th seed in the Premier Collegiate League. So the 1-2 is swung on and missed by Goldson, strike 3. It's the first strikeout for Jacob Lawler tonight, and it's out number 2 here in the 4th. With 2 outs in the inning, that'll bring Alex Kowalski up to the plate. First pitch is taking a bit off the plate, 1-0. Kowalski doubled his first time up against Tanner Thatch, as he'll watch that one outside, 2-0 the count. Lawler was pretty solid in relief in the just 2 appearances he had. He threw 2 scoreless innings of relief on opening night back against Clayton. As the 2-0 is across for a called strike, 2-1. He did pitch in that game. The Steamers ended up losing an extra innings to Tarboro back on June 7th. Allowed 1 run in that game. That's the only extra innings game the Steamers have played all season. As that ball's outside, 3-1 to Kowalski. Kowalski trying to keep the inning alive for Suffolk. The pitch. He'll swing and foul it straight back. 3-2 the count. 3 total hits for the Voyagers in this game compared to 4 for the Steamers. The Steamers been the only team to pay off those hits. 2-0 Edenton leads. Three and two the count, 2 outs in the 4th. Lawler's ready, the pitch. Swung on, fought off the other way and foul off the outside of the Voyagers dugout. And the count will remain 3-2. Kowalski hitting just .190 this season. But it's funny, he's got 5 hits on the year, including tonight. 4 of those 5 hits have been for doubles. The 3-2. Outside ball 4. Alex Kowalski works a good at-bat. He's aboard with 2 outs. Kowalski's now the first Voyager to reach twice in this game. That'll bring Alex Gilisano up to the plate now for Suffolk. As Lawler moves to the stretch for the first time on the mound, Gilisano walked his only time up tonight. Trying to follow suit with Kowalski and reach for his second time. That one's outside, 1-0 the count. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. Got Gilisano out in front. 1-1 the count. The Steamers playing at home for the 4th straight game. They'll be back at home on Monday for the final home game before the postseason begins. The Steamers 18-5 at home in 2022. A true home field advantage every time they play here, as that one swung on and missed. 1-2. Talked to Jeremiah Boyd, the man behind the plate. He told me that there's just nothing that matches the energy of this crowd. It's his first year in Edenton, and he said he could not have expected how many people here would come out to support the team each and every night. And it seems to get better as the season goes on. And even more supporting here on the broadcast, so thank you so much to everyone watching and listening in. The 1-2 pitch, a bit off the plate, 2-2. So yes, while Thatch was taken out on the mound, he's expected to stay in as the designated hitter. He's still in that spot when we get back to his spot in the order. We'll see if anything changes, but the Steamers did this a couple of weeks ago against Tarboro, and that was the case in that one. 2-2 pitch lined out towards center field. Moving in is Paulson. He'll get it on a couple of hops. And the Voyagers have 2 on with 2 outs here in the 4th. That's now the 4th hit of the game for the Voyagers. Now Gilisano has reached twice tonight. We're back to the top of the order for Suffolk. It'll be Brian Wilson coming to the plate. Lawler working from the stretch with 2 outs here in the inning. That one's fought off the other way, right at Chase Bruno for the final out of the inning. The Voyagers continue to strand runners on the bases. It's the 3rd time tonight they've stranded at least 2 out there. We'll head to the home half of the 4th here in Edenton with the Steamers ahead by 2. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field for this broadcast of Steamers baseball on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. I'm Luke Milai, and tonight the Steamers are leading 2-0 thanks to a 2-run home run from Jeremiah Boyd way back in the 1st inning. Those are the only runs on the board between the teams tonight. Caleb Belisle back on the mound for the Voyagers. He'll face Alden Cottle to lead things off in the 4th. He'll sky one out to right field. And the catch will be made out there by Phil Forbes for out number 1. It's 5-6-7 to up in the Steamers order in the inning. Tate Abbott now hitting in the 6th hole, batting 2nd with 1 out here in the 4th. Caleb Belisle settled in on the mound for the Voyagers since allowing that home run to Jeremiah Boyd. Just a couple of hits. No one's really gotten into any threatening positions against him since that bomb. Sometimes that's all it can take, one big swing. We'll see if the Voyagers have the offense to match. They've matched the Steamers with 4 hits apiece tonight as Abbott will ground that one the other way to short. Mason moving in. His throw to first is in time for out number 2. A quick couple of outs for the Steamers offense, and that'll bring Jackson Hipp up to the plate. Jackson Hip up against Caleb Belial with 2 outs in the inning. Hip will take that one off the plate. 1-0 the count. Jackson flew out his only time up tonight against Caleb Belial, who's working into his 4th inning on the mound for Suffolk. Hip will hit that one hard down the third base line and foul. 1-1 the count. That was an absolute bullet from Hip, just about a foot to the left of that third base bag. And Hip will watch that one outside. 2-1 the count. Nice eye from Jackson Hip. Hip again out in right field tonight. After not playing last night, the last game he played, he had a 2-run home run. As that one's across for a called strike. 2-2. The 2-2. He's able to fight it off to the left side. Diving stop by Gilisano at third. He gets to his feet and throws out Hip. An impressive play over there at third by Alex Gilisano to set the Steamers down 1-2-3 here in the 4th. We'll head to inning number 5 at historic Hicks Field with the Clams still ahead by 2. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field for this broadcast of Steamers Baseball. The Clams out ahead of the Suffolk Voyagers 2-0 as we're set to begin the 5th inning. Jacob Lawler on the mound for Edenton, assuming his 2nd inning of relief. It's Trevor Mason up at the plate, leading things off for the Voyagers. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the Suffolk lineup, set to come to the plate in the inning. Mason still looking to put the ball in play tonight. He struck out in each of his 2 at-bats, and he'll ground that one in play over to second base. Stevens has it. His throw to first is in time to just beat Mason for out number 1. That'll bring Phillip Forbes up to the plate now for the Voyagers. Forbes has reached once tonight and a couple of times at the plate, and he'll take that one inside. He thought it was going to get him in the back. The count is 1-0. Forbes reached on a walk back in the 1st inning. He flew out his last time up. He'll take that one down low. He's out ahead in this at-bat, 2-0. Forbes hitting .472 for the Voyagers this season through 12 games. He'll foul that one off, 2-1. He's not a guy that brings too much power to the plate. 16 of his 17 hits this season have been singles, with 1 double he's brought to the party. He's got 1 RBI. And he'll take that one inside. 3-1 the count. Lawler trying to work that inside part of the plate against Phil Forbes. He goes by P5. Phil the 5th in his family. So he pops that one up foul. 3-2. Once again, P3 is the head coach of this team. Phil Forbes the 3rd. And the man at the plate, Phil Forbes the 5th. His dad, Phil Forbes the 4th, an assistant on this team. So it's a family reunion here every time the Voyagers come to play, as the 3-2 is swung and fouled straight down. And the count will remain 3-2. The Voyagers have threatened in a bunch of innings tonight. They loaded the bases in the first and couldn't score. They loaded the bases in the second and didn't come away with runs. They put 2 on in the 4th and couldn't score, so they're trying to get him on and get him in here in the 5th. Forbes takes that one inside, ball 4. It's the 5th walk issued by Steamers pitching tonight, and the Voyagers have another man over at first with 1 out. It's the 2nd walk of the game for Forbes. That'll bring Rylan Brown up to the plate for the Voyagers. The designated hitter tonight for Suffolk. Brown will watch that one come across on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. Brown 1 for 2 in this game. He's got an infield hit. That was back in the first, and he struck out swinging in his last at-bat. Lawler will throw back over to first and back in safely as Forbes. We've brought up a lot the fact that the Steamers have picked 8 guys off this season. Jacob Lawler has one of those 8 pickoffs. He tries again, quickly back in as Forbes. He's not getting a very large lead off first, but Jacob Lawler trying to make sure that's where he stays. The 0-1 Forbes nearly takes off. He stops, and Jeremiah will look him back to the bag as that one just missed. The count is 1-1 to Rylan Brown. Brown hitting .316 this season for the Voyagers. Lawler again will send Forbes back to the base. Brown, remember, 7 days ago here at historic Hicks Field, made it to the final round of the Home Run Derby. Ended up falling to the man behind the plate for the Steamers right now, Jeremiah Boyd, who took home the Home Run Derby title. The 1-1 pitch to Brown. He'll swing and miss at an off-speed pitch. 1-2 the count. Brown has 2 home runs in the regular season in 2022, and one of those home runs came against the Steamers here at historic Hicks Field. He's got quite a knack for hitting it over that teal monster out in left field, the 18-foot wall. The 1-2 swung on foul the other way and out of play. Brown stays alive. The count's 1-2 still. Jacob Lawler out again for his 2nd inning of relief. Came in to relieve Tanner Thatch, who threw 3 scoreless innings on the mound to begin the night for Edenton. That one's a bit low to Brown. 2-2 the count. Lawler pitch count is just past 30 tonight. He's Just one hit and a couple of walks, no runs as well. 2-2 the count to Brown. The pitch. Swung on, fouled away again to the right side. A good at bat here for Rylan Brown. Steamers have only shut out their opponent twice this season, and the constant in both of those games was Jacob Lawler starting. This time he comes in relief. We'll see how long he can go. He has the stamina to go quite a bit into this ball game. 2-2 pitch is slow chopper over to third. If it stays fair, it's going to be a hit. Alden Cottle picks it up, and it is a hit. It's the second infield hit of the night for Rylan Brown, the third infield hit of the game for Suffolk. And they've got 2 on and 1 out here in the 5th. It's a 2-for-3 night for Rylan Brown, and he hasn't sent a ball out of the infield. How to bring Aiden Oates to the plate as the Voyagers try and take advantage of their base runners in this game. They've already left 7 men on base in the game. First pitch to Oates is outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. Oates struck out in his last at bat. He walked back in the first inning against Tanner Thatch. It's his first time going against Jacob Lawler on the mound. The 0-1 fouled straight back, 0-2 the count. Oates once again catching for the Voyagers, hitting 5th in the order. It's the 4th inning tonight. The Voyagers have had 2 men on. At least 2 men on. The 0-2 checks his swing. They check it first. He didn't go. Man, that was close as the count moves to 1-2. So the at-bat will continue for Aiden Oates. He's got Phil Forbes down at second, who walked. He's got Rylan Brown over at first, who reached on an infield hit. 1-2 the count for Oates. The pitch. Swung on, fouled away to the right side. The Voyagers continue to foul away 2 strike pitches. Rylan Brown fouled 3 off before getting his infield hit. So the at-bat will continue for Oates. Up at the plate against Lawler, working from the stretch. The 1-2. Swung on, fouled away again. A long at-bat here for Aiden Oates, who's hitting .314 in 12 games this season. Oates is still looking for his first hit of the season against Edenton. He's 0 for 5 up to this point. Trying to make it happen at a big time for the Voyagers. 1-2 the count, 2 men on. The pitch. Swung on, fouled away again to the right side. Lawler still trying to make that big 2-strike pitch as Oates keeps the long at bat going and makes it even longer. Jacob Lawler out up near 40 pitches in this game. We'll try it again. 1-2 the count to Oates. Swung on, fouled off again. Aiden Oates, what an at bat against Lawler. The 4th batter of this inning for the Voyagers. Once again, Philip Forbes down at second, who walked. Rylan Brown over at first with an infield single. The Voyagers with 5 hits in this game. 3 of them have been infield hits. And now time is called. A long at bat made even longer. A big battle between Oates and Lawler. Steamers in front of a big home crowd trying to preserve their 2-run lead. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2. It's a packed house here at Historic Hicks Field. The Steamers 18-5 in front of their home fans this season. They've won back-to-back games here at Historic Hicks Field with wins the last 2 nights over the Norfolk Redbirds. But tonight it's a new opponent, the Voyagers in town. 2-2 the count. Swung on, fouled off again. He just cannot get Aiden Oates out right now. He continues to get just enough of these balls to foul him off. Two and two the count. Lawler's pitch. Swung on, grounded on one hop over to Bruno at short. Flipped to second for one. Bryce Stevens' turn to first is in time. Jacob Lawler wins a long battle with Aiden Oates, getting him to ground into an inning-ending double play. We'll head to the bottom half of inning number 5 here at Historic Hicks Field with the Steamers leading by 2. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field, where the Steamers are out ahead of the Suffolk Voyagers 2-0 as we're set to begin the bottom half of the 5th here in Edenton. It'll be 8-9-1 and the Steamers order due up, with Hunter Cole leading things off against Caleb Belisle on the mound for the Voyagers. Cole will leave the first pitch he sees outside for a ball, 1-0. Belisle's really settled in on the mound. He's thrown 4 innings, 42 pitches. The only runs he's allowed were on a 2-run blast from Jeremiah Boyd as Hunter Cole lifts that one out to shallow left field, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Cole got a bit off the base, and now he'll retreat back to first. It's a leadoff single for Hunter Cole, his first hit of the night, and the Steamers have a man aboard in the 5th. Cole looped that one. It was behind the third base bag. The only two that were over there were Trevor Mason, the shortstop, and Ahmad Goltz in the left fielder. Dropped right between them. That'll bring Bryce Stevens up to the plate now for the Steamers. with a man over at first as Belial moves back to the stretch. As he'll take that one for a called strike, 0-1 the count. Stevens grounded into a double play, his only time up tonight. That was back in the second inning. The Voyagers have only had to roll with one man on the mound so far in Belial. And now he'll throw over to first on Hunter Cole, who was dancing a bit back and forth. Hunter with a couple of stolen bases this season, maybe trying to at least make Belial think he's going for a third. The 0-1, Stevens will check his swing, but he went far enough around. The count moves to 0-2. Bryce once again pitched last night for the Steamers through a scoreless inning against the Norfolk Redbirds, so he's back in the lineup today. Usually doesn't hit when Coach Hill knows there's a chance he could pitch. He's 0-2 with Caleb Belial on the mound. The pitch swung on, popped it up, first base side, foul territory. Moving over towards the Voyagers dugout is Spady, the first baseman, before it lands in the dugout and out of play. So the count will remain 0-2 to Bryce Stevens. It's been a couple games since Stevens has been in the lineup. Again, he pitched last night and was sick a couple of nights ago, so Alden Cottles held the fort down for the Clams over there defensively. That one is across for a called strike three. Caleb Belial gets Bryce Stevens looking. It's the first strikeout of the night for Belial, and it's out number one here in the fifth. That'll bring Nate Paulson up to the plate now for the Steamers. With Hunter Cole over at first. It's the third time through the order for the Steamers offense. As Paulson will take that one off the plate. 1-0 the count. Nate Paulson 0 for 2 tonight. Flow out and ground out in this game. He'll wait and watch that one come across for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Nate back in the leadoff spot after getting the night off last night against the Norfolk Redbirds. A well-deserved night off at that. Paulson hitting .340, leading the team with a .457 on-base percentage. Belial keeps Cole in check over there at first with the count 1-1 to Nate Paulson. One and one. Paulson lines that one out to right center field. Moving back is Forbes. He'll make the catch for out number 2. Worked well into the gap to get to that one, as Hunter Cole has to head back to first. That'll bring Chase Bruno up to the plate with 2 outs here in the 5th. Bruno 1 for 2 tonight. He singled in his last at bat. Steamers haven't scored since the first inning. The Voyagers have still been held off the board, as again Belial keeping Cole close. First pitch to Bruno is grounded over to third. It's handled there by Gilisano. His throw to first is in time for the final out. The Steamers strand a runner over at first here in the 5th inning. We'll head to the 6th at historic Hicks Field, with the Steamers still nursing a 2-run lead. Edenton IT has all your repair needs. Another cracked phone screen, they've seen it. A computer virus has taken over, they've battled it. Time for a software update, hand it over. In dire need of family filtering? Well, every family needs that. Call Edenton IT at 252-573-4591 or visit them online at edentonit.com. Nobody likes to strike out by missing a Zoom call, losing data, or having a broken computer. Once again, call Edenton IT at 252-573-4591 for all your computer service needs. Or visit them at 203 South Broad Street in downtown Edenton. Hello and welcome back to this broadcast of Steamers Baseball on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel as the Clams still lead the Suffolk Voyagers 2-0 tonight. And the only difference in our score was a 2-run home run from Jeremiah Boyd way back in the first inning. The Voyagers haven't been short of getting guys on. They've stranded 8 runners on the bases so far tonight. It'll be 6-7-8-2 up for Suffolk in the lineup. Benny Spady leading things off, and he'll take outside for a ball from Jacob Lawler. Lawler on the mound for his 3rd inning in relief of Tanner Thatch, who went the first 3 innings as the starter tonight. As Spady will take that one for a called strike, 1-1. Spady, the first batter to face Lawler for the 2nd time in this game. He's 0 for 2 overall. He'll swing and miss at a pitch way off the plate, 1-2. Lawler's 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. It's the 2nd strikeout of the night for Jacob Lawler, and it's out number 1 here in the 6th. Jacob Lawler continues to pitch very well against the Voyagers. The Steamers with nobody warming up out there in the bullpen right now. So right now, all the trust behind Jacob Lawler. As Ahmad Goldson's up to the plate, he'll foul the first pitch back, 0-1. Lawler again, he was very reliable as a starter for the Steamers this season. Started the last 5 games he's pitched in. The Steamers won all 5. 4 of those games he didn't allow a run. So we know he has the ability to pitch more than just a couple of innings, more than just your average reliever. Working on his 3rd already. No sign of him slowing down and maybe going for a 4th. In every one of those starts, he pitched into at least the 5th inning. As the 1-1 is swung on and missed by Goldson, 1-2 the count. And Goldson on that swing comes up a bit hobbled. He signaled over to Phil Forbes, the head coach of the Voyagers over at third base, that he just can't go. He just gave him a no sign, and he's already into the dugout with the count 1-2, and they're going to have to get someone off the bench to finish this at bat and come in for Goldson. So Goldson all the way over at the far end of the Voyagers dugout now. As the Voyagers try and quickly find a substitute to come in and hit for him. It's an unfortunate sight there for Goldson. So now, I guess you got to find a guy that'll come in to hit and also a guy that'll come in to play the field. So we're still awaiting the signal, and now the home plate umpire and head coach Phil Forbes are going to go chat with Steamers dugout, probably trying to get a trainer over to Ahmad Goldson. Courtney Phelps is the athletic trainer for the Steamers this season. Has done a fantastic job whenever anyone's been in need. So it looks like it'll be Nick Cleghorn coming into the game to hit for Goldson to finish this at bat and stay in for him the rest of the night. So we have a long delay here in the sixth. Nothing new for Jacob Lawler, a long time with one batter. Had a 10-pitch at bat against Aiden Oates to end the fifth. So although this one isn't as long of an at bat, still a long break. So 1-2 is the count. It's the first pitch that Cleghorn sees, and he'll take down low for a ball, 2-2. It's got to already be hard enough to come in as a pinch hitter. Imagine coming in with 2 strikes. Cold off the bench is Cleghorn, trying to get a runner aboard for the Voyagers against Lawler, and he'll take a called strike 3. The third strikeout of the game for Jacob Lawler, and there's 2 outs here in the sixth. So now I don't know how fair that is to Cleghorn for that to go on his stats, but there's 2 outs here in the inning as Alex Kowalski will come to the plate. Kowalski's been solid in this game. He's reached each time he's been to the plate. He doubled off Tanner Thatch back in the second, and he walked against Jacob Lawler in the fourth. He's been one of the 8 guys that have been left on base by the Voyagers tonight. 1-0 is hit high the other way down the right field line. Jackson Hip running towards the corner. He'll slide, and it drops foul. He's unable to make the catch as it landed about a foot to the right of that right field line. Hip made an incredible effort in full sprint, sliding across that line. It bounced right off his glove. So that is a long strike for Alex Kowalski, and the count will remain 1-1. Jackson Hip's a pretty strong guy, a big guy, and he runs in the outfield way faster than I think you'd expect. And that's what I always heard coming in to this season, that he's a fantastic fielder out there in right. Doesn't just bring the power at the plate. He's a very versatile player that can contribute on both sides of the ball. I actually live with his former host family, Ed and Ray Ollard, and they always stress that Jackson was a fantastic fielder the last time he was here in Edenton. This is my first summer staying with the Ollards and seeing Hip in action. As the 1-1's inside, 2-1 the count. Now to Kowalski. He's out ahead of Jacob Lawler, trying to reach for the 3rd time tonight. The 2-1, swing and a miss, 2-2. Lawler once again working through his third inning on the mound. Trying to keep the Steamers 2-0 lead. He's pitched in both shutouts this season. The 2-2. Swung on line back towards the middle over the head of Lawler. His hat came off. It's in for a hit. That's the 6th hit of the night for the Voyagers. The 2nd for Alex Kowalski. He's reached all 3 times he's been to the plate. It'll be Alex Gilisano up to the plate now for the Voyagers. He's also reached both times he's been up. So the bottom of this Suffolk order has done some damage against the Steamers tonight. That one's skied, foul territory, first base side. First baseman Tate Abbott will give it a look as it falls out of play and foul over the fence. 0-1 the count. Voyagers again, they've stranded 8 runners in this game. Maybe we'll see him try and steal a couple of bases at some point. Try and increase the chance of another single, maybe bringing someone home. They've got 6 hits in this game. That's 1 more than the Steamers. The 0-1 is taken a bit low. 1-1 the count. Remember, the Voyagers with a win tonight could hop into the 5th spot in the Premier Collegiate League in their final game of the regular season. Change up some of the playoff matchups. We already know Greenbrier's locked in as the 3rd seed, and Virginia Beach is locked in as the 4th seed. So that one comes across for a called strike, 1-2. But the difference between Greenbrier and Virginia Beach is increased as time's gone on. The Knights at 8-7, over 500. The Sea Dogs from Virginia Beach just 5-9. So I think you'd rather play the team that's 4 games under 500 if you're the Voyagers. The 1-2 pitch, inside in the dirt. The at-bat will continue. 2-2 the count. Again, the Tarboro River Bandits have locked themselves into the top spot in the PCL heading to the postseason. The Steamers have claimed that 2nd seed. The Knights at 3rd, Sea Dogs at 4, and right now it's the Norfolk Redbirds in 5th and the Suffolk Voyagers in 6th. All 6 teams will make the postseason. It's just about the seeding for the matchups. And the Steamers and River Bandits getting that first round bye. They'll host playoff games in round 2 on Thursday. That pitch is outside in the dirt. 3-2 the count. Now to Gilisano. Steamers getting that bye is the reason they've had a couple of games added on August 1st and 2nd. It's Monday and Tuesday of next week. They're not trying to have 5 days off between games heading into the postseason. 3-2 the count with Kowalski over at first. He'll be off on the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. The 4th strikeout of the game for Jacob Lawler. And he keeps the Voyagers scoreless through 6. We'll head to the home half of inning number 6 with the Steamers ahead by 2. Hello and welcome back to this broadcast of Steamers Baseball, where the Clams are out ahead of the Suffolk Voyagers 2-0. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Voyagers. It's Trevor Mason. He came over from shortstop. He'll face 3, 4, and 5 in the Steamers order, with Tanner Thatch leading things off. And Thatch will break his bat as he grounds one softly into right field. It's the second hit of the night for Tanner Thatch, and that one's going to cost him a bat, but he's aboard for the second time tonight. So the Voyagers, not much pitching as the season wraps up. Caleb Belial's their only guy that's just a pitcher on this team. So Trevor Mason started this game over at shortstop. He's coming in to pitch. It's only the 4th game he's pitched in all season. He threw 2 1/3 innings. He's allowed just 1 earned run as Jeremiah Boyd is set to come to the plate. Belial did a great job on the mound for the Voyagers. Went 5 innings, allowed 5 hits. Struck out 1, and the only 2 runs he allowed were on that 2-run homer from Jeremiah Boyd. So Mason trying to pick up where Belial left off as the first pitch to Boyd is across for a called strike. That home run came back in the first inning, and neither team has scored since. The Voyagers have left a ton of guys on base in that process as Boyd takes a called strike on the outside corner. 9 men left on base for Suffolk. There's Jeremiah Boyd, who's 1 for 2 tonight with that home run, is behind in the count 0-2 against Mason. Tanner Thatch over at first. The 0-2. Up high, 1-2. Again, Jeremiah Boyd on some kind of hot streak for the Clams right now. 5 home runs in the last 5 days. 2 homers on Monday, 2 on Thursday, 1 tonight. One and two the count, the pitch. Popped up in the infield. Moving over from second is Kowalski. He's under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Thatch will hold back at first, and that'll bring Alden Cottle up to the plate for the 3rd time tonight. Cottle's 0 for 2 in this game. He's flown out a couple of times. It's his first at-bat against Mason tonight as that one's up high, 1-0. One and 0 the count to Alden Cottle as Mason works from the stretch. That one's on the outside corner. Couple of pitches that Cottle hasn't quite agreed with tonight. Aiden Oates continues to bring those pitches back across. So the count evens up. Steamers and the Voyagers, 6 hits apiece tonight. But the Steamers lead in the run department 2-0 as Cottle takes that one for a called strike, 1-2. Mason went off speed there to put one across. For Cottle this season, hitting .289, a .393 on-base percentage, knocked in 18 runs this season for the Steamers. It's good enough for 5th best on the roster. 1-2 pitch up and in. This is a ball to Cottle. 2-2 the count. Other than Jeremiah Boyd's home run, the 5 other hits for Edenton have all been singles. And they haven't had a multi-hit inning since the first inning, so they haven't really been able to string too many base runners together. As Cottle chops that one over to third, the only play for Gilisano is to first, and it's dug out by Spady for out number 2. He's made a couple of nice digs over there at the first base bag. So Thatch does advance into scoring position on the ground out. So 2 outs in the inning for Tate Abbott, who has a runner out in scoring position. Tate's 1 for 2 in this game as the defense moves a bit over to that right side. Second baseman Alex Kowalski's right up against that shallow right field grass as Abbott will take up high 1-0. Abbott getting the start over at first base again tonight. He's hitting well. He's 5 for his last 9, including 3 for 4 last night. Abbott takes outside, 2-0 the count. In last night's 3-hit performance, he knocked in 3 runs with a double and a home run. Trying to continue his hot hitting here tonight. He's got a good count, 2-0 the count against Trevor Mason. Abbott swings and fouls that one to the right side, 2-1. 2-0 count, a pitch where you'd expect to get something to hit. I think that's what Abbott was thinking. Was a bit out in front of that one. It's his first time against Trevor Mason in this game, coming in relief of Caleb Belisle, who went the first 5 innings on the mound for the Voyagers. Allowed a couple of runs. 2-1 pitch. Abbott will foul it to the other side. 2-2 the count as that one goes out of play down the third base line. An important note now for the Voyagers, they've allowed those 6 hits, but I mentioned the Steamers haven't been able to get multiple guys on base. They haven't drawn a walk yet tonight. Meanwhile, for the Voyagers, they've walked 5 times in this game. 2-2 the count to Tate Abbott with a runner out in scoring position. The pitch. Up high, Abbott lays off. 3-2 the count. Oates, that's where he wanted it. He signaled up high with the glove. Mason put it up there, but good job by Tate to lay off of it, and now the count fills up. 3-2 the count, 2 outs here in the 6th. Steamers ahead by 2. The pitch. Called strike 3. Mason went to the off speed to get Abbott looking. That's going to wrap up the 6th inning here at historic Hicks Field. The Steamers leave a runner out in scoring position, but still hold a 2-run lead as we head to the 7th. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field, where the Steamers are out ahead of the Suffolk Voyagers by 2. As we're set to begin the 7th inning, Jacob Lawler back on the mound for Edenton. He'll be up against the top of the Voyagers order. It's 1-2-3 for Suffolk, 2 up. Brian Wilson leading things off for the Voyagers. First pitch from Lawler's across for a called strike, 0-1. Lawler into his 4th inning on the mound tonight. Came in relief of Tanner Thatch after the 3rd inning. He's allowed 3 hits, a couple of walks, and struck out 4. It's been a big part in keeping the Voyagers scoreless tonight. The Voyagers have not been shut out this season. They've scored 1 run on 3 different occasions in their 15 games. As Wilson grounds that one over to first. It's stopped by the body. It's Haight Abbott. Throw to first is in time to Jacob Lawler covering. A nice recovery by Haight Abbott, and Jacob Lawler was right at the bag when he needed to be. 1 up, 1 down to begin the 7th. As we're working on our 4th time through the Voyagers order, it'll be Trevor Mason up to the plate. Remember, he started this game over at shortstop, came into pitch in the 6th inning for Suffolk. He'll swing through that one, 0-1 the count. Mason is 0 for 3 at the plate so far tonight. He struck out 2 times so far. 0-1 is lined out towards left center field. It's going to drop over the head of Chase Bruno and in for a base hit. It's the 7th hit of the game for the Voyagers, the 1st of the night for Trevor Mason. Can the Voyagers take advantage of a base runner? They've stranded 9 guys out there so far tonight. A man that's been left out there a couple of times, Phil Forbes up to the plate. Forbes without a hit tonight. He's 0 for 1, but he's walked twice. He'll swing and miss at that pitch from Lawler. 0-1 the count. Lawler working from the stretch now as the Voyagers continue to put men on. Now they throw over. That was a close play at first. Remember, Lawler's picked off a runner this season. As a staff, the Steamers have picked off 8 base runners from the mound in 2022. Forbes is ready at the plate. Lawler's ready on the mound. He'll throw over to first again and back in safely as Mason. Lawler has such a quick pick-off move as a right-handed pitcher. He's got to turn all the way around to make that throw. As obviously, if you're a lefty, you can lift the leg and then extend towards first base and make the throw. As Lawler will step off. Not many guys are going to steal against Jacob on the mound as Forbes fouls that one away. Only 3 stolen bases against Lawler this season. Remember, he came into tonight with 28 innings pitched. 3rd most on the team behind Nicky Wolking and Blake Gibson. Only 4 guys have even attempted to steal against him, and one of those 4 was thrown out. And he'll throw over again, so I feel like Mason's not going to be going anywhere from first. Oh, 0-2 the count to Phil Forbes. Lawler's pitch, and it got him on the, it was either the left shoulder or on his left side. So Forbes will reach for the 3rd time tonight without getting a hit. He's hit by the pitch. So now the Voyagers have Rylan Brown up to the plate. We thought that since there was a defensive substitution at shortstop and Dawson Guzik came in at short for Trevor Mason, who went out to the mound, that it would have taken away their designated hitter. But Brown's still up at the plate. And he swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. 0-1. The 0-1, Brown will pop that one up to the first base side. Abbott will give it a look, and it travels over the fence and out of play. Brown is 2 for 3 tonight with a couple of infield hits. He's also struck out once. He's got 2 men on and just 1 out in the 7th. The Voyagers trying to take the lid off a home plate. Put a couple of guys across, and he'll fight that one off out to right field. Moving back is Jackson Hipp. He's under it, and he'll make the running catch. A nice play at the warning track by Hipp as Mason will tag up and go from second to third. So it is out number 2, and the Voyagers have runners at the corners. That one went a long way. Didn't look like he got too much of it, and he still got it out to the warning track in right field. It is only 298 down that right field line. And now for the second time tonight, Edenton coming up in a big situation. It's the 3rd time in this game he's come to the plate with 2 men on. The first time he walked to load the bases. His last time up, he grounded into an inning-ending double play. He's 0 for 2 in this game with that walk. And he's ahead of Lawler, 1-0. Lawler, a long breath. He's ready to go. The 1-0. Taking a bit off the plate. 2-0 the count. Edenton hitting 5th in the Voyagers lineup tonight. He's caught this whole game for Suffolk as well. No runs have been scored from either side since the first inning on a 2-run home run from Jeremiah Boyd. And Oates will take that one down low. 3-0 the count. It's Trevor Mason over at third. Phil Forbes over at first. That one comes across for a called strike. The count moves to 3-1. Three and 1 the count to Oates. That one's taken on the inside corner for a called strike. 3-2 the count. Jacob Lawler trying to work around another jam and keep the Voyagers scoreless. Again, they haven't been shut out this season. Forbes at first will be off on the pitch. 3-2 the count to Oates. Swung on, fouled it away, and we'll do it again. Edenton fouling off pitches is no surprise. Oates had a 10-pitch at bat against Jacob Lawler his last time up. And again, that was with 2 men on. He grounded into the inning-ending double play. So Lawler won that battle. He's trying to win another lengthy battle with Oates. Again, Forbes will be off from first on the pitch. The 3-2. Called strike 3. Jacob Lawler, a big strikeout to get out of a jam here in the 7th, his 5th strikeout of the night. We will head to the home half of inning number 7 with the Steamers still holding a 2-run lead. Hello and welcome back to this broadcast of Steamers Baseball live from historic Hicks Field. The Steamers holding a 2-run lead over the Suffolk Voyagers, trying to complete the season sweep of the Voyagers. The Steamers have won all 4 matchups between the teams so far. Jackson Hipp will lead things off for the Steamers. He'll swing and miss at the first pitch, 0-1 the count. It'll be 7, 8, and 9 in the Steamers order due up to begin the 7th. Trevor Mason still on the bump for the Voyagers. That one bounces into the glove of Oates behind the plate. 1-1 the count. Jackson still looking for his first hit tonight. He's flown out and grounded out in this game. And that one's way up and away. 2-1 the count to Hipp. Jackson this season through 30 games, hitting .292, a .355 on-base percentage, .500 slugging percentage. Hipp pops that one up behind the plate. It'll travel out of play, and the count will even up 2-2. Steamers trying to win their 3rd straight here at home. It was initially scheduled their final game of the regular season and their final home game at historic Hicks Field before the playoffs, but 2 games have been added in August thanks to the Steamers earning a first-round bye. Don't want to get too long of a break as Hipp swings and misses on that ball in the dirt. The flip to first to finish it off is in time for out number 1. It's the 2nd strikeout of the game for Mason on the mound, and it's out number 1 here in the 7th. So those 2 games will be against the Tarboro River Bandits on August 1st and August 2nd. The game on Monday, August 1st will be here at historic Hicks Field, and the game on the 2nd will be in Tarboro. Both of those games will not impact anything. The first round of the playoffs will actually be going on between the 4 other teams in the PCL. As Hunter Cole's up to the plate, he'll take a ball outside. 1-0 the count. Hunter 1 for 2 tonight. He's singled and reached on an error in this game. He'll swing at that one, Scott, the other way down the third base line. It'll travel over the fence and out of play. The count will remain or move to 1-1. Only 2 pitchers used on each side tonight. Caleb Belisle for the Voyagers went the first 5 innings, allowed a couple of runs before he was relieved by Trevor Mason in the last inning. As Cole crushes that one on a line out to right center field. Moving over from right and making a diving catch is Brian Wilson for out number 2. Cole got all of that ball, but Wilson made an impressive play in center to pick up the 2nd out of the inning. That'll bring up the man hitting 9th in the Steamers order tonight, Bryce Stevens, coming up to the plate. Bryce 0 for 2 so far tonight. He's grounded into a double play and struck out. He'll swing and miss at that one. 0-1 the count. It's his first time facing Trevor Mason in this game. Mason's done a good job coming over from shortstop, stepping right onto the mound and keeping his team's deficit at just 2. If they could ever knock the runners in, they're in a decent spot. They've stranded a ton of guys on base already tonight. 11 men left on by the Voyagers in this game. The 1-1. That one's over the head of Stevens. 2-1. And one guy that's not even listed in those 11 men left on base. They had the bases loaded with 1 out way back in one of the earlier innings. It was the 3rd. And they had a man picked off at third base by Jeremiah Boyd behind the plate for the 2nd out of that inning. 2-1 is swung on and missed by Stevens. 2-2. So they've really had more guys on than are even listed in the stat sheet. 2-2 the count now to Bryce Stevens. Mason's pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. It's the third strikeout for Trevor Mason on the mound. It'll wrap up the 7th inning. It's just the second time tonight the Steamers' offense has gone down 1-2-3. We'll head to the 8th here at Historic Hicks Field with the Steamers still out ahead 2-0. Venture Tours is excited to announce the return of their Atlantic City Casino Day trips. You don't have to break your piggy bank to visit Atlantic City for the day. Tickets are $85 and you must be 21 years or older to participate. The trip includes $35 in free slot play at Resorts Casino. These Saturday trips offer exciting escorted trips where you can ride in comfort and luxury. If you're interested in traveling with Venture Tours, give them a call at 757-494-1480 or visit VentureBusTours.com. Venture Tours, the official travel partner of the Steamers for the 2022 season. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field, where the Steamers are still holding a 2-run lead over the Suffolk Voyagers. It'll be 6-7-8 in the Voyagers order due up here in the 8th. Jacob Lawler still on the mound for Edenton in his 5th inning of relief. Jacob Lopez into the game to pinch hit for Benny Spady. As Coach Phil Forbes looking to manufacture any offense he can. The Voyagers have 7 hits in this game, one more than the Steamers, but they've stranded 11 guys on base. And Lopez will foul that pitch straight down, 1-1 the count. So Lopez coming in for Spady, who was 0 for 3 in this game. Lopez this season hitting just 160 through 13 games, only 25 at-bats for Lopez. He'll take that one outside, 2-1 the count. For Jacob Lawler in this game, he's allowed 6 base runners, 4 hits and 2 walks. But he's kept everyone stranded on the bases as the count moves to 3-1 to Jacob Lopez. Lawler's ready from the windup, the 3-1. On the outside corner, count will fill up 3-2. The 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. It's the 6th strikeout for Jacob Lawler in the game, and it's out number 1 here in the 8th. Lawler now up to 85 pitches in this game in relief. The Steamers do have some standing going on in the bullpen, not a ton of throwing just yet. You'd think this would be Lawler's inning. That one's a called strike to Nick Cleghorn, who's up for the 2nd time, but he got a kind of bad bet in his last at-bat. Came in for Ahmad Goldson, who was injured after the 1-2 count. Cleghorn only saw 2 more pitches and struck out looking, so this will be his first time going through a full at-bat. Goldson struck out all 3 times. That 3rd strikeout goes to Ahmad Goldson. Cleghorn will take that one down low, 2-1 the count. Cleghorn hitting .318 through 11 games this season with the Voyagers, and he'll chop that one high over to second. Bryce Stevens waits on it. His throw to first in time for out number 2. Two down here in the 8th as Alex Kowalski will come up to the plate now for the Voyagers. The only Voyager to reach in all of his at-bats tonight. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. Against Jacob Lawler, he's got a walk and a single. It's the 3rd time he's faced Jacob tonight. And he'll let the first pitch come across for a called strike, 0-1. Again, Lawler only the 2nd pitcher used by the Steamers tonight. Tanner Thatch went the first 3 innings. Allowed 3 hits, 3 walks. That one's lined over to third on one hop. Taken by Alden Cottle. Throw to first is in time for the final out. 8 scoreless innings on the mound for the Steamers pitching staff. We'll head to the home half of inning number 8 at historic Hicks Field with the Clams ahead by 2. Who's ready to rock? The first annual Clam Jam is coming up on Saturday, September 24th. We'll welcome 3 awesome bands to jam out at historic Hicks Field. Starting at 4 p.m. that afternoon, PB&J will take the stage, followed by the Eric Dunlow Band at 6 and the headlining Daniel Jordan Band at 8. Advanced tickets will be available at EdentonSteamers.com for $15 or can be purchased at the gate that night for $20. Bring your lawn chair and take the field for the rockin' event. Numerous food and beverage options will be available all night. We hope to see you there. Hello and welcome back to this broadcast of Steamers Baseball on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. I'm Luke Mealy, where tonight the Clams are holding a 2-run lead over the Suffolk Voyagers. Both those runs came back in the first inning on a 2-run home run from Jeremiah Boyd. Another pitching change for the Voyagers. Philip Forbes coming into the game, the 3rd pitcher used tonight by Suffolk. This is the 10th game he's pitched in this season. He's thrown 11 2/3 innings, a 9.26 ERA. And he's going up against the top of the Steamers order. Nate Paulson will lead things off here in the 8th. And Nate will take that one for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Tonight, Nate Paulson 0 for 3 at the plate, but pregame he was named the Gieske Gold Award winner, the team MVP for the 2022 season. Again, a well-deserved honor for Nate as he came into tonight hitting .340, .457 on-base percentage, 15 RBIs. Leads the team with 11 doubles as well. As the 1-1's in the dirt, 2-1 the count. So Caleb Belisle started this game for the Voyagers, went the first 5 innings, allowed 5 hits and a couple of runs coming on that Jeremiah Boyd home run. And Trevor Mason moved in from shortstop to the mound. He threw 2 scoreless innings, and now it's Forbes' turn as Paulson fouls that one away. So Forbes came in from right field. It's Alex Gilisano moving out to right. And Trevor Mason moves from the mound back into the field. He's over at third. 2-2 count. Paulson lines that one the other way out to deep right center field. That ball's going to get up against the wall. Paulson's around first, heading for second. Getting it in is Wilson, and Nate's into second, standing up. It's a leadoff double for Nate Paulson, his team leading 12th double of the year. And the Steamers have a man in scoring position with nobody out. Trying to provide a little bit of insurance for a pitching staff that is on the verge of their third shutout of the season. Remember, the Voyagers have not been shut out in a game this season. Chase Bruno up to the plate now for the Steamers. He's 1 for 3 tonight. As Forbes will move to the stretch. Bruno shows bunt. He'll bunt at it and miss. 0-1 the count. That hit for Paulson, the 7th of the night for Edenton, each side with 7 hits in this game. The story has been the Voyagers stranding 11 men on base. The Steamers have stranded just 4. Oh, and 1 the count to Bruno. This time he'll take. It's down low for a ball, 1-1. Not a bad strategy if they try and have Bruno lay the bunt down and get another potential run just 90 feet away with less than 2 outs. But the other side of the coin is Chase Bruno leads the team with 48 hits. That's 13 more than any other Steamer this season. And now they throw back to second, and it's off the glove of the shortstop, Cusick. It gets away from him. Paulson's heading for third, and he'll get there without a bunt. And now the ball's thrown off the Steamer's dugout. It'll stay in play. Paulson will hold there. So the Steamers advance the runner without having to go for the bunt. So Nate is now 90 feet away for Chase Bruno. That's now the second error of the night for the Voyagers, who have played a pretty solid game defensively up to this point. Usually that's been their undoing against the Steamers. Forbes is ready from the stretch. The 1-1 pitch is taken in the dirt, and looked like Oates was trying to catch Paulson sleeping, tried to deke him out there. He picked the ball cleanly, tried to pretend it got by him. Nate wasn't buying it over at third. So the infield not completely in for the Voyagers. They're up, but still a few feet off the grass as Bruno sends that one high in the air out to left center field. Moving back is Wilson. He'll get under it and make the catch as he falls to the ground, and Nate Paulson's going to come in to score. So Chase Bruno gets the job done at the plate. A sacrifice fly puts the Steamers ahead 3-0. A bit of run insurance for the Clams, who are now ahead by 3 as Tanner Thatch comes to the plate. Thatch started this game on the mound for the Steamers through 3 scoreless innings, but he stayed in to hit since he was relieved. And he'll take a pitch way inside. 1-0 the count. Thatch 2 for 3 in this game with a couple of singles. Forbes is the 3rd different pitcher he's faced in this game. As he'll fight that one off straight back. And the count will even up 1-1. Tanner comes into tonight hitting .382, a .442 on-base percentage. He leads the Steamers with 24 RBIs. He's second in the Premier Collegiate League in runs batted in league play with 23. So he'll take that one on the inside corner, 1-2. That sac fly from Chase Bruno brings home the first run since the first inning. Neither team had put one across since that opening inning on the 2-run home run from Jeremiah Boyd. He's currently in the on-deck circle. 1-2 to Thatch is grounded over to first, handled by Lopez, and he'll take it to the bag himself for out number 2. And that'll bring Jeremiah Boyd up to the plate with 2 outs here in the 8th. Once again, not many guys hitting the ball better than Jeremiah. 5 home runs in his last 5 days. He had 2 in the game on Monday, 2 in the game on Thursday, and now 1 tonight. We'll see if he has another multi-home run game in him. He'll take the first pitch for a called strike, 0-1. So Boyd with his home run tonight now extends his team lead. He's got 9 home runs this season. Tanner Thatch is second on the team with 6. Forbes, the third guy that Jeremiah's faced in this game. The 0-1, he'll send that one high out towards right center field. Moving back is Wilson. He leaps at the wall, and it's up against the wall. Boyd rounding first, heading for second. He'll be in there standing. It's the second hit of the night for Jeremiah Boyd. It's the second double of the inning for Edenton. And they've got another man out in scoring position, this time with 2 outs. That'll bring Alden Cottle up to the plate. Now for the Steamers. Cottle's 0 for 3 in this game. He'll take that one for a called strike, 0-1. So it's been a rough inning for Phil Forbes on the mound. His first inning of relief, he's given up a couple of hits and already 1 run in the inning. Another runner in scoring position for Edenton. As Cottle will take that one a bit high, 1-1 the count. Alden went 1 for 4 last night, a 3-run home run, his second straight game with a homer. As he'll chop that one high over to second. Kowalski will wait on it. Throw to first is in time to beat Cottle. But the Steamers do add another here in the 8th. A sac fly from Chase Bruno makes it a 3-0 game. The Clams trying to hold this 3-run lead as we head to the 9th. Well, fans, summer's here, and you know what that means. Graduation parties and cookout season. Bill Gardner's Biggs Party Tent is the perfect place to host your next get-together. Schedule a picnic before the game for your next birthday bash, graduation gathering, or business rendezvous. It's the classic choice for family summer fun. Call the office at 482-4080 for more details. Thank you to Bill Gardner and Biggs Cadillac Buick GMC for their support of the Steamers and sponsoring our newest addition to historic Hicks Field. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field here in Edenton. The Steamers ahead by 3, looking to clinch their 3rd shutout of the season and complete a season series sweep of the Suffolk Voyagers. The Clams will look to Cole Bates here in the 9th to try and finish things off. Cole Bates, before the game, named the 2022 Evans Pitcher of the Year. That goes to the most effective pitcher on the Steamers staff, and Cole Bates, very deserving, comes into tonight. 12 appearances, 17 innings. He's allowed just 3 runs this season, a 1.59 ERA. He's 4 for 4 in save opportunities, trying to make it number 5 here tonight. He'll go against the 9, 1, and 2 spots in the Voyagers order, as Suffolk trying to avoid being shut out for what would be the first time this season. So it'll be Alex Gilisano leading things off for Suffolk in the 9th. Bates' first pitch way outside, 1-0 the count. Gilisano's reached twice in this game. He's walked, he's singled, and he's also struck out. So Bates is the 3rd different pitcher that Gilisano has seen tonight. One-0 is off the plate, 2-0 the count. For Bates, his last appearance came against Tarboro a few nights ago on Wednesday. He threw 1 inning of relief, allowed just 1 run. Trying to keep the Voyagers scoreless here in the 9th. 2-0 the count. That one swung on and missed by Gilisano, 2-1. For the Voyagers, they've had no trouble getting guys on base, but they've had trouble bringing them around. They've stranded 11 guys on base tonight. 8 of them came within the first 4 innings of this game. The 2-1 from Bates. Outside, 3-1 the count. Reminder, it's Gilisano, then the top of the Voyagers order coming up here in the 9th. Gilisano trying to set the table for that top part of the order. The 3-1. Gilisano nearly offers at it, leaves it up high, ball 4. It's a 5-pitch walk to lead off the 9th for Gilisano. He's aboard for the 3rd time tonight. And that'll bring Brian Wilson up to the plate. Led off this game, he's here in the 9th with nobody out and a runner over at first. And Wilson will take that one inside for a ball, 1-0. Wilson's 1 for 4 tonight. His only hit was an infield single against Tanner Thatch. He went 0 for 2 against Jacob Lawler and is facing Cole Bates for the first time in this game. The 1-0. Swung on, fought off foul behind the plate. Count will even up 1-1. The Steamers once again 18-5 here at home. They've won back-to-back games at historic Hicks Field coming into tonight, looking for their first 3-game winning streak since June. That was the 10-game winning streak. 1-1's up high, 2-1. In the month of July, amidst a ton of rainouts and a bunch of games with the Tarboro River Bandits, the Steamers have not been able to string together more than 2 straight wins this month. Two and 1 the count for Brian Wilson. Bates is ready. The pitch. Swung on, hit high, foul territory, third base side. Alden Cottle gives it chase from third, and he'll watch it drift over the fence and out of play. 2-2 now, the count to Wilson. Cole Bates looking for his first out here in the ninth. With the Steamers ahead by 3. This is his 5th save opportunity of the summer. He's 4 for 4 up to this point. The 2-2 nearly offers at it, leaves it up and away. 3-2 the count. Boy, Gilisano did the same thing in his at-bat on what was ball 4. Had to take everything to hold back from swinging, and Wilson even had to walk across the plate to avoid taking that swing. 3-2 the count. Bates' pitch. Swing and a miss. The first strikeout of the game for Cole Bates. He now has at least 1 strikeout in all 13 appearances this season. And that's out number 1 here in the ninth, a big one for Cole Bates. That'll bring Trevor Mason up to the plate for the Voyagers. Mason 1 for 4 in this game. Bates, the 3rd different pitcher he's faced tonight. And Mason lines that one high out towards right field. Moving back is Jackson Hipp. He'll make the catch on the run for out number 2. Hipp running with almost his back to the infield, reaching up to make that grab. 2 outs here in the ninth. And the Voyagers are down to their final out. It's Phil Forbes coming to the plate. He's reached 3 times tonight, all 3 without a hit. He's walked twice and was hit by a pitch. Trying to bring the tying run up to the plate for Suffolk. That one's fouled away, 0-1 the count. Again, the Steamers with 2 shutouts already this season. That one to Forbes is across for a called strike, and the Voyagers are now down to their final strike. 0-2 the count for Phil Forbes, still looking for his first hit of the night, trying to keep the game moving for Suffolk. Bates is ready. The 0-2. Inside, 1-2 the count. This crowd was ready to explode here at Historic Hicks Field. A packed house here tonight. 1-2 the count. The pitch. Swung on, fouled away by Forbes. And the count will remain 1-2. Voyagers not going down without a fight. It's been an interesting game for Philip Forbes. Started the game out in right field, and back in the 8th, he came in to pitch an inning for Suffolk. Allowed that 3rd run that could prove to be deadly for the Voyagers. 1-2 the count. The pitch. Outside, 2-2. The energy up and down here with every pitch. Fans always start clapping when the other team's down to their final strike. They've given some hearty claps so far. And they'll do it again here with the count 2-2 here in the ninth. The pitch. Swung on, fouled away by Forbes again, and he will keep this game alive. Phil Forbes, the only time he didn't walk or was hit by a pitch, remember he's walked twice and was hit by 1 pitch, he flew out in that at-bat. Bates again is ready. The 2-2. Swing and a miss! Cole Bates his 2nd strikeout, and he earns his 5th save of the season. The Steamers pitching staff earns their third shutout of 2022. The Steamers sweep the season series with the Voyagers. They win all 5 matchups this season. They improve to 19-5 here at home. The Steamers improved to 25-10 this season, 21-10 in PCL play. They leave the Voyagers in that 6th and final spot in the Premier Collegiate League. So now we've got our playoff matchup set for August 2nd. It'll be the 3rd-seeded Greenbrier Knights taking on the 6th-seeded Suffolk Voyagers, and the 4th-seeded Virginia Beach Sea Dogs taking on the 5th-seed Norfolk Redbirds. Those games will both be at Lakewood Park on August 2nd. Once again, the Steamers have a first-round bye. They'll play on August 4th against an opponent to be named later. It'll be the highest-seeded team that comes out of those 2 postseason games. So the Steamers, although they have another game tomorrow night, those really won't count towards any seeding. But the playoff game, August 4th, will be here at historic Hicks Field. So that's going to do it tonight. A 3-0 win for the Steamers over the Suffolk Voyagers. Win number 25 this season, shutout number 3. We will see you in a couple of nights in historic Hicks Field as the Steamers take on the Tarboro River Bandits Monday night.